Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. The weather is a bit changing, there's sun and there are clouds, so I'm sorry if the lighting is not super consistent and there are some snowflakes in the air. Beautiful winter weather, and I think the perfect weather to talk about paper documents, or not? So in today's video I want to share how I organize my paper documents as a minimalist, and this is the place all my paper documents live in. So I do not make a 100% effort to go paperless. There are certainly a few pieces of paper in there that I could have in digital form that I am not required to keep in a paper form. But since I'm sometimes also not super sure about it, I don't want to pay a lot of money to get important documents back when I digitize them, but it was not allowed to do that. But I'm super happy that everything fits in here. So this folder hosts the documents that I need and that my son needs. It hosts everything I need for taxes, like insurance and identity papers and things like that. But I'm gonna show you what's exactly in there in a minute. First, I want to talk about paper documents in general. I think paper documents are one of the things that I really don't like. I actually hate them. They are so annoying. It's so hard to sometimes find the right piece of paper. I get more paper than I want to get. I don't know how that works where you live, but here in Germany, they are not very good at being paperless. So a lot of my health insurance sends me paper things. A lot of tax things still work with paper, or if you're able to do it in digital form, you still have to keep the paper to prove that you have bought the things, earned that money if they later ask you. And so there are a few things that we have to keep. And also, I declutter a lot of paper. From an environmentally friendly perspective, it isn't working perfectly because I still get so much paper that most of it I can throw away or digitize and then throw away. But yeah, this is the stuff that I'm keeping, and I try to go when I get paper, I immediately open the envelope, look what's inside, and decide if I can toss it right away or if I have to do something about it, if I am not sure if I have to keep it, if I have to keep it for a certain amount of time. And everything that I'm not sure I can just toss, that everything that goes into my drawer, not my wardrobe drawer but the other drawer I own, and everything that is just piling up there on a pile where this is and also my laptop is. There's just a pile of things that have roughly this shape that pile up there, and I try to go through it at least every few months to make sure that there is nothing that I can declutter still in that pile. The last time I went through this was in December, and I can link you the video up here where I showed how I declutter the papers things and also how I declutter digital files. So if you're interested in seeing that, I will link you the video to watch. My goal with paper is really having the least amount possible, but also not spending that much time researching if I have to keep something, again, reorganizing it if I've tossed it and it was not allowed, and things like that. So I try to keep it to a minimum because really I don't like it. It's heavy, it's annoying. If I travel somewhere or move somewhere, I have to take all of it with me. So the more I can have in digital form, the better. But now, let's take a look at how I organize all of the paper things. Yeah. So I cannot show you the exact documents just because there's a lot of personal information on these. And yeah, but I'm gonna show you what I have here. So this first, I have everything in these plastic things just to keep it a bit more organized. So this is everything about my son, everything I have to keep about my son. And I can tell you what's in here approximately. In here we have his passport, we have both of his passports, we have his birth certificate, we have his tax identity number, we have his doctor's appointment booklets. There's a booklet you get, and I actually have one from Switzerland and one from Germany. because I got one when he was born in Switzerland and had that until we moved to Germany. And now in Germany, they wanted me to have a new one, a German one. So I have 2 of these medical booklets where they just mark off or like write in how much he weighs, how tall he is, things like that. I also have his vaccination records. That's also like a really small booklet, a Impfpass. It's like a vaccination passport, it's called in Germany, where they mark off which vaccines he has gotten. And then let's take a look what we have. Yeah, just some like legal things about his school and kindergarten and things like that. Maybe I should go through that, because maybe there are a few things that I could actually declutter. But that's pretty much a thing that a 7-year-old needs in paper document. And then let's move on. This is the second one, and here I can show you something. Like I have my passport, I have some passport pictures, because there will be a time where I need more of these just for applying for a visa, for example, or for getting a new ID card of some kind. And so I have, yeah, again, my passport pictures. I have like the document that says that I didn't move out of Switzerland, the document that said that I moved into this apartment where we live here. I think I have to keep that. And I have my birth certificates. Now we have the next like small folder thing is tax stuff. I am pretty new to taxes because I just started earning money with my business in 2020. So I'm not sure what I have to keep, but there are some like receipts from things I bought. There is my like tax identity number. There's my tax number like for my business. Yeah, just things I need in order to make like to file my taxes. But I think some of the things I can discard after I made my taxes, and the other things I need to keep for I think 6 to 10 years, and I can discard then. That's really something that's super annoying about having a business or just taxes here. And I think it's similar in many countries that you have to keep a lot of the things for a long time. I get it. You don't want people to cheat when it comes to taxes, and so you need them to have the records to prove that's actually the situation. Yeah, when they claim that they don't have to pay taxes, that they have to pay a certain amount of taxes or things like that. But it's super annoying. That's like one of the things that I wish I would not have to keep. And then the next thing is all like warranty things. Like one is like my prepaid phone contract I have 2 SIM cards, one Swiss SIM card and one German SIM card, just because in Switzerland it's super expensive, because Switzerland is not part of the EU if you use a EU SIM card. And on the other hand, if I would use my Swiss SIM card in Germany and everywhere else, that would be super expensive as well. So I have 2 SIM cards, a Swiss one and a German one, and that works pretty well. Also some other things like from a camera and like warranties I need to keep, but most of the time I get rid of them after 2 years, which is the time when these warranties don't work anymore. And so then I can get rid of them. Right now there's not that many things in there. There's like 3 pieces of paper, because I just don't buy that many new things that are like under warranty. The next thing is all of the documents I got from like finishing school and finishing university. So these are just all my like diploma things, I don't know what they're called, to prove that I've studied social work, which grades I had, yeah, things like that. Also, I had to translate my things from school in Switzerland, not because the language is different, because the official language in Switzerland is still German, so they understand that the report card or like everything like that, but they have a different system of grading, because in Switzerland the best grade is 6, and in Germany the worst grade is 6 and the best grade is 1, which in Switzerland is the worst grade. And there's some other things that work a bit differently, so you have to send in all that information so that they grade it new for Germany, and that's what I did. That's what I have here. I'm not sure if I need to keep that, because I have studied, and I think if I want to study again, they don't need my school things anymore, but I have to look into that to decide. But again, it's like a few pieces of paper, which is not that bad. And of course, like the certificate from finishing social work, I need to keep that to apply for jobs. And then the last thing is something that I'd rather not have, but it's just part of my life. It's some medical records from when I had cancer as a kid. I had like kidney cancer, which means that I only have one kidney left, but for appointments now, and also because I had chemo and radiotherapy, it's important to know what medication I got. It's important to know what the procedure was exactly, what kind of cancer and how they did everything, just so for now they know what's going on in my body, because there are some risks that I have. For example, my heart is a bit more at risk for certain things. So it's good if I have the things to hand them to doctors in Germany here, so they can take a look and know more about it than what I can say, because when I had cancer, I was 4 years old, so I really don't remember any of the specific medical things. Yeah, and actually, that's everything I have when it comes to paper documents. I'm sure especially the tax folder will get bigger. There will be more things I need for taxes in the next few years, but I do hope that I can keep it to a minimum, and if possible also keep it in my green folder thingy here. And the things are stored here in the order of how often I use these things. So on top I have the folder of my son, because that's really just the thing I use most often, especially when we go to the doctors, for example. I need all of his like medical booklets things. So that's why that's on top. And then next are my like documents, identity things, and then is like the tax and the warranties, and then the medical stuff, because I really hope I don't need that often. And I also want to say that most of these things I also own in digital form, even though they are maybe not like legally okay as a document if they're digital, but sometimes it's still better to have a copy of them. Have a copy of your like ID card, have a copy of your birth certificate in digital form. Just if something would happen, if things get stolen, you can at least have a digital copy, which makes processes easier sometimes. I do hope that in the future the world will work with less paper because of environmental reasons, and also just because it's much more convenient. I also wish that I could search our physical world like a digital space sometimes, that I can just type in the name and it shows me where it is. Luckily, I am a minimalist, so I don't own these many things, so usually I can find things within a few minutes, but sometimes, especially for document piles, it would be so good to just type in the name and it shows me where it is. For the longest time I just had every piece of paper in here, but just for the last few months I started putting them into these small plastic folders, and it makes everything even that much like easier. It's just so easy to know that everything is in its own plastic thing, so that I can like really grab it and find it within 1 minute. I think if you ask me for a specific piece of paper, I can find it in here in 1 minute, and that's really great. So I in the process of decluttering paper things, I really made sure that all of the paper things I own are in this folder. I do have some sentimental item paper pieces, but these, yeah, that's a huge difference, right? And so I have everything in here that is like documents and things like that, so that it cannot get lost. I know everything is in here, which makes it super easy to find things if I need to. Now I would be really interested in knowing how you handle your paper things, and if you want to share your system or what you need to keep down in the comments, I would be happy to read that. And I think we could also share our experiences, because I think it's super different depending on where you live and how your situation is, what you need to keep and what you can discard. And also let me know if you know a good resource, at least maybe for the country you live in, which can actually tell you what you need to keep, because that's a huge problem I still have, that I want to have a list that tells me what I have to keep and which things I can discard after which amount of time and things like that. That would just be very practical. Oh, another thing I forgot. We do have a folder that belongs to my boyfriend and to me with just the things for this apartment in there. So I do have a few extra pieces of paper with just the contract of like renting this apartment, and with some bills of like heating and electricity and things like that. Yes, so I think that's been it for this video. I hope you liked it, and if you want to see more videos, I'll link you a video and a playlist right here, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!